Today, we are diving into one of the most gorgeous and, let's be real, one of the most high-maintenance hair trends out there, Cowboy Copper. If you've ever dreamed of getting that perfect, rich, leather and penny shade and actually making it last, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get into it.
Does this sound a little too familiar? You walk out of the salon, your hair is stunning, vibrant, perfect. You feel amazing. But then, just a few weeks later, you look in the mirror and this is what you're thinking. You're just staring at this dull, kind of washed out version of the color you spent all that time and money on.
I need to tell you right now, you are not alone in this. This is an incredibly common experience, and it is not because you did something wrong. Red is, hands down, the fastest fading hair color there is. But, and this is a big but, there are secrets to keeping it looking brilliant, and we're going to walk through all of them step by step.
Okay, first things first, we have to get the color right from the very beginning. So what exactly is Cowboy Copper? Because it's not just any old red. It's a very specific and very beautiful blend of different tones. Honestly, this description is just perfect. It's not some loud fire engine red. It has this deep, earthy brown base to it, kind of like a worn leather saddle. But then it's all lit up with the brilliant warmth of a shiny new copper penny. It's got dimension, it's sophisticated, and wow, when it's done right, it's just stunning. And here is a fantastic pro tip for your next salon visit. The real key to making this color look natural and, well, expensive is dimension. So you want to ask your stylist for a tonal blend. By keeping the roots a little deeper and then letting that copper get brighter toward the ends, you get this gorgeous sun-kissed effect that also happens to make the grow-out process way less obvious. Now, what's so great about this color is just how versatile it is. I mean, it genuinely works for almost everyone, as long as you tweak the shade just a little bit. So if you have warm, golden, or olive skin tones, you'll want to lean into a brighter, more orangey copper. If your skin has cooler, pinkish undertones, a deeper, more auburn-leaning copper is going to look incredible. And if you're neutral, well, you've pretty much hit the jackpot. Almost any version is going to look great on you. The big question, isn't it? This is the one that really determines the time, the cost, and, the potential damage of your whole color appointment. So, let's just get straight to the answer.
So here's the reality check. If you have dark brown or black hair, then yes, you're almost certainly going to need to pre-lighten or bleach your hair to get that true copper pop. If you have medium brown hair, you might get away with just a partial lift. And for all you blondes and light-haired folks out there, you are in luck. You can usually skip the bleach part entirely.
All right, so you've left the salon with the absolute perfect shade. Now comes the hard part, keeping it that way. Let's talk about the science of why your beautiful red color is so determined to disappear. It's a phenomenon we're going to call the brownout effect.
It really all just comes down to some simple chemistry. So think of hair color as these tiny little pigment molecules that are living inside your hair strand. Now, the most important thing to know here is that red molecules are the smallest of all the color molecules. And because they're so tiny, they have a really easy time just slipping out of the hair shaft every single time you wash it.
And that right there leads us straight to the brownout effect. As those tiny little red molecules wash down your shower drain, what's left behind? Well, it's the larger, tougher brown molecules that were also part of your original color formula. And that is exactly why your vibrant copper slowly dulls into this sort of muddy brown. It's not a bad dye job, it's just physics.
But don't you worry, you are not powerless against this brownout effect. Now that we know what we're up against, we can build our defense. It's time to assemble your color-saving toolkit.
Okay, your absolute first line of defense is your shampoo. And let me be clear, this is non-negotiable. Regular shampoos are full of sulfates. These are harsh detergents that just strip everything out of your hair, including those precious red color molecules. A sulfate-free, color-safe shampoo is way more gentle. It cleans your hair without aggressively kicking that color out. You have to make the switch. I love this quote because it's so simple, and it works. Think of your hair strand as being covered in these tiny little scales, or cuticles. Hot water makes them all open up, basically creating a giant escape route for your color. A final rinse with cold water slams those doors shut, sealing the cuticle and locking that pigment right inside. Seriously, it's a game changer.
Heat styling is another major color killer. If you use a flat iron or a curling wand, you have to check the temperature dial. Anything over 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius can literally burn the red pigment right out of your hair. The takeaway? Couldn't be simpler. Turn the heat down. Now this is your secret weapon for fighting the fade between your salon visits. A color-depositing mask puts a tiny bit of that pigment right back into your hair. You can buy pre-made ones, of course, or you can make this ridiculously easy DIY version. Just a couple of drops of a semi-permanent dye mixed into your favorite conditioner every 2 weeks is going to make a massive difference. And finally, let's talk about the things we always forget: the environment. The sun's UV rays will bleach your hair color just like they do your skin. And chlorine? It's notorious for stripping color. So wear a hat, use a UV protectant spray, and here's a great tip. Always drench your hair in clean, fresh water before you get in a pool. Your hair will soak up the clean water, leaving less room for all that chlorinated water to get in.
So what happens when you're ready for a change? You've loved the copper, but you want something new. Well, transitioning away from red can be really tricky, so it's super important to do it the right way to avoid a total color catastrophe.
Okay, this is probably the single most important warning in this whole thing. Whatever you do, do not try to fix this at home. Putting a dark box dye over red can turn your hair a weird, muddy, sometimes even greenish color. And trying to bleach out red at home, it can leave you with splotchy orange patches and some seriously damaged hair. Trust me, this is a job for a professional.
So, what are your safe options? Well, the best choice, always, is to go see a professional for a color correction. They have the right tools and the knowledge to lift that red out safely. You could also choose to fade it gradually yourself using a clarifying shampoo once a week. Or, a really beautiful option is to just transition into a warm chocolate brown, which works so nicely with the tones that are already in your hair.
So let's just recap the golden rules real quick. If you don't remember anything else, remember these 5 things. Use the right shampoo, rinse with cold water, keep your heat tools on low, refresh your color with a mask, and protect your hair from the elements. That's it. That is your formula for success.
And there you have it. Cowboy Copper is a truly beautiful color, and it is absolutely worth the effort when you know how to take care of it. By understanding the science and using the right tools, you're the one in control. So now, you don't just get to have the trend, you have the secret to actually keeping it.